Hello, ladies and gents. The Matrix first reactions are in. They're flooding the interwebs because, of course, it is going to be released in like 5 days, at least in the UK. So the 22nd, I believe it is in the UK. And yeah, the first reactions have appeared on Twitter. Yes, that's right, of all places, fucking Twitter. I'm sure there's some on Facebook, but Facebook is equally as cancerous. So I thought we would just take a look at the reactions, see what they are. They're mostly positive. Just as a quick spoiler alert, they are mostly positive. But let's check it out, right? So this is just using the hashtag The Matrix Resurrections. And also, FYI, ladies and gents, please do follow me over on Twitter at Mr. H Reviews, and also on Instagram at Mr. H Reviews. Would love to have you there. So we have this one here from Griffin Schiller. Something funny about that. The Matrix Resurrections is an absolutely slam dunk. A bold, deeply personal, vibrant and biting anti-legacy sequel that challenges the complacency of our nostalgia-obsessed world and how the system has evolved to exploit that. This is how you resurrect a franchise. There is something very, very, I guess, sort of almost hypocritical and ironic in the statement there. Anti-legacy sequel. Unless it absolutely shits on all of the movies that have come before it, it is part of that, and especially when it says it challenges the complacency of our nostalgia-obsessed world. The fact that it's called The Matrix, you know, and I mean it's a Matrix film, you know, this far moving forwards from the franchise, you know, the trilogy. Yeah, I mean, is that not nostalgia bait anyway? You know, using everything that they did in the marketing. It's interesting, but again, positive. But I remain a bit dubious about that, quite frankly. So we get some more statements here. So Ethan Altus has absolutely adored The Matrix Resurrections, which builds on where the sequels left off in beautiful and unexpected ways and presents a world that's entirely consistent with what came before and also opens it up to a host of new stories. My synapses have been firing for days. So that's interesting, and he does continue further and say so many world-building details to delight in, especially if you're already deep into the rabbit hole like myself. But Lana Wachowski also never loses sight of the emotional story that's been at the core of the series all along. So that was, yeah, again, positive. We get a statement here. Without a doubt, the Matrix movie, so Matrix Resurrections, is my favourite movie of 2021. It's easily the best film since the original. Again, that's not that hard to do, because the original's the only good one. The others were crap outside of Monica Bellucci and Tight Latex. Let's be honest. But she says further, Heather Wixon says further, and says Keanu and Carrie-Anne are absolutely stellar. The action kicks all kinds of ass, and the story blew my mind. It exceeded every single expectation I had. Hashtag The Matrix Resurrection. So positive, really, really positive stuff. But again, the commentary about, oh, the movie, you know, is the best one since the original, not something to brag about. Again, remember that rhetoric that was cut. By the way, I'm looking forward to the film, just as an FYI. But remember when a lot of people were like, oh, you know, Terminator Dark Fate is easily the best one since Terminator 2. It's like, yeah, again, that's not positive. That's not put that. You're using that metric. That's not a positive metric. Shut up. So there you go. We get Jeff Zhang, who says The Matrix Resurrections rocks, ambitious sci-fi metafiction, sure to be divisive. Interesting. And this commentary I like. I find it interesting at the very least. Anyway, it's Lana Wachowski's meditation on why she didn't want to do another Matrix movie via another Matrix movie. Interesting. Creator versus Destroyer revival and the illusion of choice in a brand new context. Huh. That's fascinating to take away from the movie, isn't it? Don't you agree? And then we get this. So The Matrix Resurrections is a terrific, awe-inducing meta mind bender, completely in line with the franchise's legacy. Finds an innovative, high-concept way to frame the new story. Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss's chemistry burns. Jessica Henwick is a revelation. Positive. Very, very positive, in fact. Jessica Henwick is one of the actresses I've been interested in for the past few years. After The Matrix Resurrection, she will be seen in The Grey Man and Knives Out. Looking forward to it. So, Hideo Kojima Obviously hasn't seen it, but he's just saying, hey, look forward to it, I guess. We get this. So The Matrix Resurrections is the 22 Jump Street of Matrix sequels. It's a high-octane thrill ride that is cheekily meta, hella violent, and in its core has a beautifully romantic plot. Lana Wachowski might have just made her best sci-fi romance flick yet. Well, again, that's not that hard, is it? Let's be honest. Joe Blow says, The Matrix Resurrections feels like exactly that. A resurrection of the first film. Is that positive or negative? Our own Jimmy has experienced the Matrix movie, a lively and thrilling sequel. Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss haven't lost an ounce of their shockingly good chemistry. Again, positive stuff. But some of this you can perceive as being negative, let's be honest. Chris says, The Matrix Resurrections is a total blast, weird, romantic, extremely meta, and consistently funny. Do you want a Matrix movie to be funny? That's the question, isn't it, really? I kind of loved it. Also, everyone in this movie is ridiculously hot, apparently, according to Chris. Good for you, mate. IndieWire says, a totally earnest sci-fi romance. Multiple viewings will be required. First reactions, that's just them quoting some other people, never mind. But that's interesting, isn't it? Basically it's a funny romance movie. What? The Matrix Resurrections is a very faithful movie. It acknowledges entire trilogy, all those stories and characters. I haven't noticed anything being retconned. This is a true sequel that expands the lore and shows consequences of Neo and Trinity's heroics. Brilliant work. Positive? Positive. The Matrix Resurrections is definitely the best Matrix sequel. Again, not fucking hard. Though it has its problems with the film's self-aware nature. Again, that's what I was a little bit concerned about. The uniqueness of the story and the practicality of the action sequences are back. Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss steal the show, and the third act is wow. A lot of people will see the Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss commentary as a bit of a red flag. I disagree. I mean, they are literally the centerpiece to the whole trilogy anyway, so people would be focusing on that. They are the lead characters. I'd be more concerned if everyone was focusing on another character. But them focusing on the lead characters, no, nothing to be concerned about. The Matrix Resurrections action sequences are big, meaningfully engaging with character parallels and connections. Lana Wachowski and co. thread subtle and nuanced nods to the other films through the fight choreography, visual effects, production design, and cinematography. Positive stuff again. Again, lots more positive stuff. Positive. So lots of people really like it. A lot of people really like it. I saw The Matrix Resurrections last night and I loved it. Can't post full review till next week, but it was so much fun. Definitely the sequel us Matrix fans have been waiting for. Again, I just don't see that as saying that it's the best sequel ever. It's not positive. It's really not. So it's looking, it is positive. People are saying it's positive. That is what people are saying. Sean says, I was skeptical at first, but Lana Wachowski really did it with The Matrix Resurrections. It's an action-packed meta-sequel reboot that really ponders what The Matrix means in 2021. Hands down, the best Matrix since the original. Oh, fuck. Get away from that rhetoric, because that's not a good metric to work with, is it? That is not a good metric to work with. POC culture says The Matrix Resurrections is a high-octane, nostalgic thrill ride with a little too much self-awareness and an unnecessarily convoluted plot. So here's the first negative one. With any reboot, the question is why? Sadly, the reason for this feels more like a mulligan than a fresh start. Shame. So that's the first negative one. And then we got the second negative one from David Chen. The Matrix Resurrections was a disappointment. Some cool visuals and a handful of interesting ideas that expand on the Matrix universe, but the movie's lack of stakes is deathly. And even worse, its plot detracts from what was accomplished in the OG trilogy. A huge missed opportunity. Wow. That's big negative. And then we get this one here saying, quick non-spoiler thoughts on The Matrix Resurrections. I think it's the second best movie in the franchise. Not a fucking compliment. Not as heavy on philosophy as the original, but action beats were good times. Some things needed more explanation, but all in all I had a good time. Definitely worth it. Interesting. So here we go. Long-time fans of The Matrix are sure to be swept away in the installment of The Matrix Resurrections. Rewards rewatches and is sure to spawn a whole new slew of fan theories. There you go. Some other commentary there. Best sequel of the year, Matrix Resurrections. An absolute blast from its stunning opener, mind-scrambling deja vu-infested plot to its smile-inducing ending. So it has a happy ending, basically. The guy just revealed it has a happy ending. Motherfucker. What an exciting project to finish the year with. Huge thanks to blah blah blah. So this guy obviously worked on The Matrix. No point quoting him. But there you go. I mean, that's the commentary from The Matrix. I mean, it's mostly positive. Like, it is mostly positive. But again, like I said, some of those things can be seen as a negative, like a comedic-based Matrix film. Good or bad, you decide. Let me know what you think of all of this down below in the comments. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.